Okay, this morning's been kind of challenging. Um, Woke up um, from kind of a maybe disturbing dream, and then kind of in the semi-consciousness of waking up and not quite awake, just trying to process. Okay, was that real? Was that imagined? Is this spiritual? What's going on? Um, yeah, so just kind of that's how kind of my morning started, and then even trying to connect and process the Lord, um, it's been a little bit challenging. So yeah, not sure what's going on. So I've gone on two, three walkabouts with the Lord this morning. Um, Weather's very overcast, kind of drizzly. Um, yeah, very different. Um, yeah, so I think there's I don't know, heaviness, depression, not sure. Yeah, so I'm kind of going through the motions, kind of going through my normal routine, walking, talking, um, uh, connecting, trying to connect with the Lord. And yeah, it's been last couple of days been very different. So um, or challenging. Yeah, so I guess it's not been as easy for me to connect and abide. A couple things from this morning is, so my uncle is back in the hospital. So again, so he's 98. Went through hip replacement surgery a week ago, and apparently he's back in the hospital with pneumonia-like symptoms. So not good, especially under current circumstances. And then also this morning, for some reason, my cat's not eating. She's been fine up until now, but this morning she just not eating. So don't know what that's all about. Um, and then just been trying to process a lot of kind of heavy duty stuff um, personally for me outside of even those things. So yeah, so there's a lot going on in and around me. So I've been journaling a lot, seeking the Lord through my journaling as I normally do. So asking questions. So just like I walk and talk with the Lord out, as I'm kind of prayer walking, if you will. I do that as a journal every day. So I just, connect, or just it's like a conversation, but it's written. So I ask questions, and then I wait for his response, write down his response, and just kind of everyday stuff, but just yeah, but then also processing what I'm processing, and I process with him. Um, and then it's like, okay, what's going on? How do you see me? What am I dealing with? What's going on? A lot of times I already kind of know, but this time, when things get kind of off, I need perspective. I need his perspective, in my life. So it seems like that was, or those were the questions that hit pay dirt, if you will. So not good stuff, but so I processed a lot with the Lord up until that point, but it came down to asking the right question, and then waiting for His response, and so basically uh, it's just my having to let go of kind of all the stuff that I'm dealing with internally. So I probably didn't recognize that I was feeling overwhelmed in this time, in this moment, in the season, and just kind of got off, And then so when I'm overwhelmed and I'm filled with, my own thoughts or my own whatever, I'm not filled with Him, or it doesn't give room for Him to fill me. So how did I get to that place? So I didn't get. I mean, I kind of got there on my own, but I needed, kind of some external help, if you will. Um, so I asked the Lord, okay, so what's going on? And it says, okay, well, again, seek Graham Cook. So I kind of look at, the plethora of stuff that he has in his library, and was looking for something about fullness because I was not feeling full, right? I was going, okay, something's not right. So I was just looking for something, as it relates to fullness. And circled back to abiding, it's like, okay, so abiding. And so kind of had to re-listen to something that I had listened to fairly recently and hear it again. So hear the teaching from the very beginning, and then also kind of, go a little bit further on than I had when I first listened to it, probably a couple weeks ago. So the significance of it was, one, it's just good to reinforce and hear, and because if I'm having trouble with abiding, it's like, okay, kind of maybe need to start all over again. Um, and then keep pressing in, and then, okay, what's preventing me? And then so I kind of rolled up into uh, part of the teaching was that it's not, yeah, so what happens when we are not abiding, or yeah, so sometimes so it's definitely not him, so it's not, so it's something that we do consciously or unconsciously. Typically it's unconsciously. We do something and then we somehow disconnect. So the disconnect is that he's always in me, but I'm not always in him. So it's kind of a weird dynamic, but right. So if my mind or my thoughts or beliefs or doubts or whatever just become all-consuming and overwhelming, then I'm not hearing, sensing, I'll even say believing that I'm in the presence of the Lord. I'm not experiencing Him. I'm not experiencing His rest. I'm not experiencing His peace. Definitely not experiencing His joy. But really, just not even feeling. I'm not experiencing Him. I'm not encountering Him. And so that's really when I start to worry: is, well, why am I not encountering? Because I want to encounter and engage and experience every day. And so the last couple of days have been very challenging. So now that I have this key, if you will, I am going to just spend time. Um, so as I've laid stuff down, as I've emptied myself, if you will, to just spend time in my connecting with Him, because He's already connected me. My reconnecting with Him and my resting and abiding with Him, and just so I need to kind of just get filled up again. I need to get restored um, by just connecting or reconnecting with Him and just receiving what He has for me today. So that's my assignment for the morning this morning. I thought it was going to be running errands, but nope, no busy work. It just let's just sit and let's abide, let's be, let's rest, and let's dwell. So that's what I'm going to do.